Hey all, so we are back with another war video here, and I am very excited about this one because I'm getting to show off my brand new rank 3 leader. Haven't seen a ton of him in war, but Path 1 right here was one of his targets. Killmonger wasn't necessarily, but there is pretty aggressive healing on this node, and to paraphrase my boss, Killmonger does respond to debuffs with a mystic benefit in power gain, so it's not really inappropriate that this particular science champion counters him, now is it? So there's a special too. We're controlling the healing easily. The power gain is still pretty brutal. My leader is not awakened. We are also having a little bit of trouble getting him to throw specials while actually on the door, in part because I'm going to be completely transparent. I forgot about that while I was playing this. I was more focused on getting to the special too. Now that I say that, maybe this could have been easier. Anyway, what you'll notice here is that now I've gotten to the special 2. Now that I've got the power dissolve up, those were some very chunky bursts of damage from reversing the power gain when he is inflicted with a debuff. And see, there we go again. That was 9k. We hit again. That one was 17k. We parry. We get 8. This is going very, very well. Bit of a slow start. You do have to get to the special 2. But man, once you do, what an absolutely incredible fight. You also never really run into the Fury because of Despair and the Spectres keeping Killmonger's regen rate below 0 the entire fight, so Indomitable is there the whole fight, and he's heal blocked, so you don't have to worry about reinvigorated. This Longshot one is interesting because even with his enhanced ability accuracy, Longshot cannot purify these debuffs. Severe debuffs cannot be purified by anyone. Interestingly enough, the way this node works is that Masochism does go on cooldown when the Purify tries to trigger, which is why we can stun. But we can't parry when it's not on cooldown because the parry stun is not one of Leader's personal debuffs. Masteries do not count as personal effects, and so we do have to be a bit careful there. Longshot is staying in Pure of Heart basically the entire time, so we do have to be very careful with these special ones, but better to bait them than the special 2s. Also, for those of you who are not familiar with this node, the reason we cannot parry while Masochism is not on cooldown is because then Longshot will gain a regen buff, and he will be unblockable for the entire duration of it, which is not chill. Note the red numbers here as we're hitting Longshot. That is because as we are gaining power from our basics, he is stealing some of it. That's how he works with bad karma. That is getting reversed, and then that is dealing damage because of the power dissolve. So in both of those fights, most of the damage is coming from the leader's power dissolve, that unique debuff on the special 2. So look out for places to use that because it was extremely effective in both of those. We move on to Spider-Punk. I have taken this before. For those of you who haven't seen it, the basic idea is get clarity up and kill. I have done this before with powerbacks. You can do that, get a intercept right before the special 3 and then do a ton of damage. This one works well enough that, in my opinion, as long as you get that intercept before a special attack, you don't have to do that. You can just do damage with degens. Spider-Punk doesn't have any resistance to that. You can also do what I just did right there, and throw the special 1 right as the protection comes back, so you dodge the Purify. Ideally, you would then follow that up with an intercept, because then we would have gotten rid of the protection and done a lot more damage with those degens. That is what I was hoping to do, but it didn't quite work out. Spider-Punk didn't really play ball. That's okay. We have the Fury here. Our basics are just chunking away. And the degens did do something, right? It's not like that was a complete waste. We also were able to convert them back into intensifies, which means we're doing pretty well. Here we deal with the special 2. I think the next special will go unstoppable, so we have to watch for that. Looking for a place to get a intercept here. I probably should have gone for a backdraft right there instead. I think I'd forgotten about the upcoming Unstoppable, so that was fun. But here we can do it that way instead. Throw the special 2 with protection down. This does mean we have a limited window to convert back, but we're not going to need it, because Spider-Punk is dead before the protection comes back. So that went quite well. Next up we have Destroyer here. This is a tough fight. Kate is banned, and she is definitely the best counter for this particular placement at the moment. Titania works. I haven't done that particular fight before. I haven't done this fight either, but I did have a good model for it with Luke, where basically the idea is you just keep baiting heavies and push 2 special 2s, back Destroyer up, and if the Destroyer is at the wall when they throw their special, they don't have to dash forward, right? And so then you don't have to worry about Mighty Charge. The theory is fantastic. Unfortunately, this particular Destroyer refuses to play ball and just keeps dashing forward between basically every special that I bait out. Sorry, before, not between. We do get the concussions up here. Unfortunately, it knocks the Destroyer back so much that they do charge in right after, and so we lose the concussions immediately. We do get the intercept there, which could have been good if we were ready, right? Because if I was able to get just one more protection up, or one more exhaustion up, a little bit earlier, I could have thrown the special 2, I could have gotten 2 concussions in, and I could have prevented the protection from coming back. And at that point, Mighty Charge would have mattered a lot less, right? Because we would still be losing our debuffs every time Destroyer charges forward, but the protection would go away and would not come back unless I accidentally went for an intercept again. So you can absolutely do that to speed this fight up. If that intercept had been intentional, that would have been what I was going for. But now that I've been hit, taken some damage, I don't really want to, and I want to just try and get him back, or get it back into the corner, so we can try and get into our rhythm. Special 3 isn't ideal for that, but as you can see, just again and again and again, dashing in before throwing specials, meaning we just don't get a lot of progress here. That one I earned, right? I definitely dashed back on my own. There's probably some other places where I did too. I could have been a little tighter with my AI manipulation. This one just didn't feel like it was really going my way. It's important to note that before this fight, I did go into, what is it now? Summer of Suffering, Sorrow. I don't know, guys. I'm losing track. But I did go in and practice my Destroyer Special 2 decks, because I was like, you know what, I really don't want to rely on this going well enough that I can trust my Indestructible. I want to make sure that I can dex the Special 2 every single time, whether it's unblockable or not. Because reminder, if the concussions do stay up, it is very possible that the Special 2 be unblockable, and even be unblockable almost every time. But we didn't want to trust that, and so on top of plan A, which is get him in the corner and actually control our opponent, plan B was be comfortable dexing the special to, what are we up to, 10 times now? But it's better than the special 1, right? Because we are not dealing with those charges escalating. And that is very helpful. That is 100% worth it. You'll also notice I normally run Luke with the Captain America relic. I do think that is generally his best pick, but I swapped over for this war to Spider-Man 2099 to make sure that I was periodically immune to Dex, because it did save us a few bars of power on our opponent there. So definitely, I think, the correct choice. Anyway, that Destroyer fight's about as poorly as that can go without dying, but we didn't die. So, moving on to the next one. I've taken this Prowler before. I was clearly not ready for that parry. I probably should have capitalized on it. But anyway, we have the Undermine. We are comfortable hitting into the heavy to punish it. right there, I clearly wasn't ready for a parry again because I should have used a heavy, right? I could have not reversed the falter because Prowler is falter immune, but I could have avoided getting backed up just that much more. That time, I was ready for it. I knew the vigilance was ending, and I did manage to keep the falter off. Alright, so here we block the special 2, which is generally what I prefer to do against Prowler. We don't punish because we don't yet have the vigilance up, and then as he dashes in, we use the special 2 to get our vigilance. So we know that we're just going to push to the special 2. That's completely fine. We would like to get, our intensifies back, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw this special 1 here. Not concerned about letting the degens fully play out. Block the special 2 again. Trust our vigilance and just stay aggressive. And I think here's where the mistake comes. Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea why I won't pretend that he threw that special 2 after I dashed back. It looks pretty close to that, but I'm pretty sure I did just go for the dex and do it too soon, right? So I got caught on the dash back, lost like 50% of my health to those ruptures. Thankfully didn't lose any more. Woof. But was able to salvage it. So, again, about as bad as that fight can go without dying, but again, I didn't die. Bit of a stressful war, through my fault, right? Not the matchups, they were great. But yeah, really happy to see that those leader fights went as well as they did. That will definitely be happening again, especially because he is Tactic next season. So I look forward to that. Hope y'all enjoyed this, and until next time, thank you so much for watching, and take care.